Y'all bear with me for a second. I'm just getting my privacy setting straight. They won't lock in. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. You know, without you guys, I would not have a show. I will come back a little bit later, just on Twitter. If you're not a Twitter follower, then you will miss this. Or if you saw it, the video I did last night didn't make it to Twitter for some reason. So I'm going to come back tonight and do a special show just for Twitter to talk about the board of managers and some of these people they say are already on the board of managers. They're walking around saying these things. And now that they're getting called out on it, they want to act like they don't know what we're talking about. But tonight, I'm going to touch a subject that's really, really personal to me. It's really personal to me. We watch over and over across the country negative police interactions where black folk are getting beat brutally by the police. A lot of them end up dead. And the question is why does that keep happening? Well, tonight I'm going to touch on it. I'm going to step on some toes of your favorite politicians because that's the only way it's the only way I can go to try to see if I can wake some people up. Now, we know what happened to the young man in Memphis, Tyre Nichols, beaten to death. Let's see what's going on with his case. Let's share a screen and let's see. Let me see. Let's see if we got it. Okay, so we got it. We're going to start at about the 7-minute mark. And let's see what happened the night that they did what they did to Tyre Nichols.
That way. Thin male black, blue jeans, and a plaid jacket.
They had no justified reason to stop him. And then they pulled him out of his car. Looks like now they've located him.
Stop. No! Give me your hand. Hey! Watch out! Mom! Watch out! Give me your hand! Right. Give me your hand, bro. Give me your hand. Mom! Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Get your hand. Give me your hand. Turn around. Lay flat. Lay flat, goddamn. All right. Lay flat, goddamn. Lay flat. Lay flat. Look at that, goddamn. Give me a fight on the first fight. Watch it. Baton. Get him. Watch out, the mama. Give me the head. Use the head. Use the head. Same location. What's the couch case? What's the couch case? Bear crawl, babe. Bear creek, goddamn.
I can't watch any more of that. Hold on a second. Want to make sure that we good. Hold on a second. Okay. I can't watch that anymore. Hold on, man. I'm in the middle of a show, dude. What's the deal? Yeah, I thought you were gonna run into me, but okay. I can't watch this. And it realistically turns my stomach. All gas, no brakes comment. This keeps happening because a lot of black elected officials are running these areas and they're allowing for it to. They have to keep us oppressed in order to keep the racial grift going. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tyre Nichols. Let's go all the way back to Rodney King. Rodney King. And it's still going on. What Albrecht's said about the black elected officials, he's correct. Let me tell you why he's correct. Let's go to the federal level. Let's not even look at the local level. There's more than enough that can be done. Laws that can be passed. But when it pertains to black people, nothing ever gets done. If the Asians have a problem with violence, the President of the United States passes executive orders. If white America has a drug problem with fentanyl, They pass laws. They open up more treatment centers. All of a sudden, the courtroom become what they call drug courts, and they fix the problem. But when black people have a problem, we don't get anything done. We don't get anything done. And I don't care if folks get mad at me. I've been saw the video. I've seen it. And now his family is filing a massive lawsuit against the city of Memphis that will probably bankrupt them, $550 million. 5 black officers brutally beat Tyre Nichols for a traffic stop that never had to happen. Why is it that when you're black, you better pray you don't run a stop sign? You better pray you don't have a broken tail light, because if you do, you're going to have problems a lot of days. And a lot of people don't want to admit that. They're saying you should comply. But even when we comply, we die. That should be on a shirt. Even when we comply, we die. My question is, when is somebody going to step up for black people? When is the elected officials that's over our communities going to step up for black people? Why is it that every time you need to, your hands are tied? Because in all actuality, maybe you want it just the way that it is. See, when you got all this going on, like what happened with Tyre Nichols in Memphis, there's going to be a lot of federal grant money that comes to the Memphis Police Department from the federal government to act like they're trying to fix a problem. The local officials get to eat off that money. But Tyre Nichols' family gets to bury him. They get to go to a cemetery now for birthdays. They get to go for holidays. And these officers, they're going to go through what they go through. But the problem that I see is nobody wants to deal with rogue police officers. Listen to what I just said. Do you support police officers, Mr. Monroe? Yes, you do. But I don't support rogue police officers. I don't support police officers that basically shit on their badges on a daily. I watch how some of y'all operate. And I got a lot of cops that don't like me because I be on their behinds. And I don't really give a damn. But some of y'all ain't worth 2 plug nickels. The same way some teachers shouldn't be in a classroom, some of these cops should not be in uniform. That's just the way that I feel. Because there's always an excuse, or there's always a reason why you had to brutally beat somebody on a bullshit traffic stop. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. The reason my show is one of the hottest around is simple. Because people know that I tell the truth. And tonight I come to tell the truth because this has been going on for too long. But one of the most high-profile cases was Rodney King. Almost 30 years ago. And yet this is still going on. But then you want us to respect the cops. You want us to embrace them and welcome them into our neighborhoods. And you want to bridge the gap. You want to bring them into our schools, and you want them to interact with our kids. And when they leave those schools, they go on missions and they beat the hell out of black people. Not all of them. Some of them. And my question is, why aren't the federal elected officials doing anything about this? Qualified immunity was created during the civil rights movement to protect rogue officers in the South who were brutalizing civil rights marchers and workers. And qualified immunity still exists until this day. It was to protect those officers, to make sure that they could get away with what they were doing. And then when the county and the city get sued, the taxpayers got to pick up the tab because of the fact that they have not done anything with these officers. I mean, all gas, no brakes. Let me see what my good friend over in Houston Teachers United said. Houston doesn't see a lot of these plainclothes units as much as some cities, but from personally witness a group of plainclothes units jumping out of an unmarked car in another city. Can you tell that these plainclothes, can tell you that these plainclothes units get, how can they say it, a little crazy, out of control? You don't see the plainclothes units because you ain't in our neighborhoods. They call them jump outs. See, they ain't jumping out in the white neighborhood. They jumping out in the black one. And they've been jumping out in black communities for almost 30 years. We done dealt with things from the police side that you white folk ain't never seen in your life. We done dealt with bannerams, rogue ass jump out boys, the messed up police unit in LA. I mean, we've dealt with so much when it comes to police, and people don't understand. It's a different world when the sun goes down in the black community. You ever notice when the sun goes down in the black community, most of the officers tend to turn white? You have people policing our community that have no connection to it. You have people policing our communities that don't live in our communities. Most of the officers with HPD, they live outside of the city limits. So they don't have time to interact with the community when they're not on duty. We have gone through pure hell in the African American community as it pertains to police brutality. But a lot of people don't want to admit that. All brakes, no gas. They need to do away with qualified immunity and make sure they're bonded. If their pockets start being affected, then they'll stop. Also, stop rewarding cities with more money for police reform. They also need to change the law that if these people have enough time to retire and they get involved in something like Tyre Nichols, you can retire after the court case, if that's the case. But if not, you will be terminated. See, you're retiring them with full benefits, and they beat the hell out of some black people. And now the community gets to pick up their tab for their benefits. Now, I know I got some HPD officers over there watching, and you got your panties in a bunch. Pull your boxers down, homeboy. If it don't pertain to you, then don't worry about it. I don't give a damn about y'all. I'm telling you. But you, Mr. Police Officer from HPD, that's rogue and watching, and you got a problem with what I'm saying? You're sitting right next to one right now that's just as rogue as you. And then you got these new ones coming through the academy. You're going to turn them into bad cops at the same time. It is time for us to look at our elected officials and demand what we want. Qualified immunity needs to go away. It needs to go. These people need to be held responsible to the highest degree. Or we'll just keep having Breonnas and Tyre Nichols and different things like that. George Floyd's and all of this, Eric Garner's. But see, Brother Malcolm said we need to stop singing and start swinging. You can see the hate in my eye for some of this. There's a way to do everything. But see, when you run up on the right cop, they already got an attitude by the time they get to the car. They want to talk funky to you, all of that. See, we got to sit differently when we get stopped by the cops. White folk ain't doing that when they get stopped by the cops. We got to keep our hands on the steering wheel where they can see it. We can't barely move. You better not take too many deep breaths. We've even gotten to the point that we've rolled how to deal with a police officer during a traffic stop into the curriculum. And you want to spoon feed this to black children. Why don't you just get rid of qualified immunity and now they have to be bonded and they can pay this money themselves? Why won't you do that? When the Asians had a problem, you came up with an Asian hate crime bill. The United States of America ain't into protecting black people from rogue police officers. I'm asking a question. Not making a statement, asking a question. And I need people to understand, well, it ain't about race. Yes, it is. Show me the video where they beating the hell out these white folk like that. Show me the videos. So I don't want to hear you need to comply. I don't want to hear the excuses anymore. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it anymore. But see, when folks get to busting back, then people got a problem with that. People got a problem when black folk get fed up. And then we start handling business a different way. What happened to Tyre Nichols that night should have never happened. You know it just like I know it. But when you got the likes of Nancy Pelosi down there, Maxine Waters, and all these folks down there, Sheila Jackson Lee, Al Green, all the folks, and y'all playing motherfucking games, it's going to keep happening to black people. For 2 years, during the Biden administration, you control the House and the Senate. For 2 years during the Obama administration, you controlled the House and the Senate. And you didn't pass one bill that protected black people. You passed an anti-lynching bill. Say, man, stop fucking playing with us. When you gonna do something with these cops, man? When are you going to do something with these cops? See, you don't want to listen. God is telling me to deliver you a message. Your country was in perils after George Floyd. And if you don't do something about these cops, it's going to happen again. What are you going to do? You're going to send in the National Guard again? We're going to go to war in our communities? When all you have to do is the right thing. See, I don't have respect for politicians that don't take care of their communities. I have zero respect for them because you're a waste of oxygen. See, I'm not the advocate or the activist that's going to kiss y'all asses, Mr. Politician. I'm not the advocate or the activist that's going to kiss the viewers' asses. I'm going to tell it like it is. And if you never vote me in office, I don't give a fuck. But just having to watch that video again did something to me. So let's see what's going on with Tyre now that he's been murdered by the Memphis Police Department.
Is filing a massive $500 The family of Tyre Nichols is filing a massive $550 million civil lawsuit against the Memphis police force, its officers, and against the city itself.
Nichols was killed after he was brutally beaten by Memphis police officers following a traffic stop in January. NBC News correspondent Tremaine Lee is following the story for us. He joins us now. Tremaine, it's unfortunate that we have to think back what happened in this case, but we remember this one. Tell us about this lawsuit and what the family's hoping for.
That's certainly at $550 million you mentioned is certainly a big number. But the family says that Tyre Nichols was the victim of a widespread sanctioned unconstitutional policy that targeted Black people with this Scorpion unit, which is a rogue unit. And they wanted to send a message that $550 million wasn't just pulled out of thin air. 55 years ago in Memphis, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. So this family felt that it was appropriate as they likened the death of Tyre Nichols to the lynching of Emmett Till. But here's Ben Crump, civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Let's take a listen.
This landmark lawsuit is not only to get the justice for Tyre Nichols in the civil courts, but it is also a message that is being sent to cities all across America who have these police oppression units that have been given the license by city leaders to go and terrorize Black and brown communities.
Ben Crump putting on notice every city across this country where there are allegations of abuse against the Black community, that they're coming after them, folks. He said, likening this to lynching, likening this to centuries of abuse heaped upon the Black community. And he said, no more, so they hope to send a message with this case.
I mean, we watched this. It was awful. But I want to ask you specifically about what we're now hearing from the city of Memphis and from those named in the suit. Are they responding?
Not just yet. This announcement just came within the last hour or so it's still early. But again, they're being put on notice. $550 million is a huge number and sends a serious message.
Yeah, no doubt. Tremaine Lee, always good to have you here. Thank you.
So as you saw,
Thanks for watching.
Ben Crump's going to lead the parade. Fuck Ben Crump. You're not Johnny Cochran, dude. You're just in it for the money. You're just in it for the money. See, Ben Crump is a part of the problem. Ben Crump is a part of a problem. And the problem is folks like Crump and Lee Merritt and these Black politicians, you run up on these families in their time of crisis and you use them to get money. Ben, why you not down in D.C. telling these Black elected officials to get their comrades and their colleagues to change the law and get rid of qualified immunity? He ain't gonna do that because he gonna make money off of another dead nigga. That's why he ain't gonna do it. He don't give a damn. Ben Crump is a personal injury attorney. Ben Crump, when the last time you seen him litigate a case for one of these Black families in a courtroom? He's an accident attorney. And what he does is he connects with whoever the attorney is, and he gets out in front of the camera. I can only say this one way about Crump. Nigga, we tired of you. We tired of you, dude. Let's look at what Salita Williams says. The other family he helped said he kept the money. I don't know. But I can say this in good faith, 100%. Ben Crump, you trash. And you're part of the problem. You, Al Sharpton, and all you fucking Negroes that use families in times of need. People not thinking right. You come in, you don't want them to do this. Don't you calm the community down. Why shouldn't the community be in an uproar? Why should Memphis be standing right now? See, we ain't supposed to be mad and upset when we watch a video like Tyre Nichols. No, we're supposed to be the subdued Negroes. You want us to remember what it was like when a black man was tied to a tree and he was whipped on the back while the other Negroes stood around and it happened. And they couldn't open their mouths. This the game you playing, Ben Crump. And while you playing the game, they're killing us unmercifully in the streets on a daily across this country. It's frustrating. And I'm tired of you sellout Negroes that's playing front line. You're not helping anybody. You're not helping anybody. You're helping to feed the system. You're feeding the problem. And I can't knock Ben Crump's hustle. He done found him a hustle. And if I die at the hands of the police, I pray to God my family ain't dumb enough to fuck with Ben Crump. Lee Merritt, none of you bastards. Because you ain't right, bro. But all that money you done made, Crump, what have you given back to the black community? Negro, go sit down. But until we demand excellence from our elected officials, as it pertains to issues like Tyre Nichols and Breonna Taylor, this is going to keep happening. And it's going to keep happening over and over and over again. It's not going to stop. And from there, where do we go? I told them 7, 8 years ago in city council, if y'all don't do something about this, you're sitting on a powder keg. And then George Floyd happened. God is telling me to tell you right now, you're sitting on another powder keg. Because it's only so much we can take. It's only so much we can take. There's only so many excuses that you can come up with. It's so many reasonings that you can try to justify this with that ain't making sense no more. There's a hunt for black men, whether old or young. And you people who are representing them, you're aiding and abetting the hunt. Because you ain't getting shit done. Nothing. I don't give a damn about your little small accomplishments in these cities and different places. I don't give a damn about that. What I give a damn about is the solution to the problem. That's what I give a damn about. Should not be another Tyre Nichols. Well, we said that before, man. Shouldn't be another George Floyd. Shouldn't be another Eric Garner. Shouldn't be another Sandra Bland. Yet it keeps happening. And it's going to keep happening as long as we don't do shit about it. See, black people, see, y'all like to raise up on bullshit. You want to fight each other, but you won't fight the real enemy. You'll kill each other, but you ain't gonna, anybody do something to us, you just go on about your business. No, I don't condone violence. I'm not a violent person. But I'm nonviolent with those that are nonviolent with me. If you come for me, you're going to have to kill me. I'm just telling you how I'm built. But folk don't want to do nothing, man. We too caught up in our 40 acres in a mule. We don't want to stand up when we need to stand up. But if it's a march with 40, 50,000 white folk leading the pack because it was a black issue, then we'll march right behind them. But we really ain't going to stand up. We really ain't going to do nothing. Nothing at all. Except take what they're giving us. Once again, we need to pray for Tyre Nichols' family. Let me tell you what I ain't finna keep doing. I ain't finna keep going to your bullshit marches. I ain't finna keep coming to your fucking pep rallies. And I ain't finna keep praying for the families. It's time to stand up and do something about this bullshit, man. It's time to stand up and do something about the wrong that's being perpetuated in the black communities all around the country. But I can't keep coming to your balloon releases and feeling like I really need to be there to support when you won't do what's right. If these Negroes that's politicians can't do their jobs, then they need to go. They're going to tell you what they're going to do, and it never gets done. We ain't got shit done for black people since the Civil Rights Movement. Want me to say that for you again? We ain't got shit done for black people since the Civil Rights Movement. Or you want me to sing it for you? Not a goddamn thing. We ain't getting nothing done. You got all these black judges and, man, fuck all y'all. Do something, bitch. Bust a move, man. They go up in your courtroom, black judge, and you give them a bond that they could pay out of piggy banks. You don't even respect the family when you issue a bond. And you want us to not be upset. You want us to keep smiling and believing in these fake Negro leaders that's leading us down the road to purgatory. You won't stand up, black leadership. You a sucker and you know it. Now, any one of y'all that got a problem with me, my number 832-933-3447. Call me. City council, state rep, senators, congress people. I don't give a dial a number. You'll get the same motherfucking energy you getting right now. Because to watch this keep happening is sickening. Let me check what you sent me. Hold on a second. I don't know what page you on, Ivana. I told you come over to the main page and you keep lurking on that other page. I don't even go over there half the time. Let me see if it's over here. Hold on a second, you guys. I don't know what page you're on, Ivana. I can't see no inbox. I'm not gonna rack my brain on it. I don't care what they log it as. It's the fucking truth. And Facebook, if you got a problem with me playing that video, then why don't you have a problem with these young girls popping their pussy all day on it? Facebook, if you got a problem with me playing these videos, then why don't you have a problem with all these violent videos that be floating around Facebook? You don't want nobody to tell the truth, Facebook. So you can take my goddamn profile down and I can give a fucking care less. Anything that can educate the black people, we got to do something about it. We got to stop that. Man, fuck Facebook. I say it what I said, man. I don't give a damn. So, the bottom line is, man, we got to wake up and smell the coffee. We got to wake up and smell the goddamn coffee. You feel what I'm saying? And if we don't do that, then it's going to keep going on. It's going to keep going on. So, for me to y'all, I really could care less, man. I'm being honest with you, dog. We have to do something and get these people out of positions where they're not helping our communities. Because this should not still be happening. I'm sorry, but it should not still be happening. I don't care what anybody says to me. I don't care what anybody says to me. This should not be happening. You know, the streets were taken over after George Floyd was killed. The streets were taken over. It was taken over. And we still talking about this shit now? Cities were burnt to the ground and we still talking about this shit now? We still letting the police do the same shit? Come on, man. I'm not trying to hear it. Hold on. We shouldn't be continuously talking about the same thing. We shouldn't be. But yet we are. Young black men are targets. Older black men are targets. You feel what I'm saying? And just because we riding down the goddamn street. Hold on. Find out what your elected officials are doing. If they're not doing anything for your community, get them out, please. Get them out, please. It's a waste of time. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep making excuses for the police. We just can't. So, you know me, when I get a little frustrated, I go to the lab. Hold on. I go to the lab. And when I go to the lab, I create. Okay. So we're going to share a page and I'm going to end this thing. It's a song that I wrote when I was very, very frustrated with law enforcement. Hopefully you like it. And if you're a cop and you don't, I don't give a fuck. I told you old pussy ass law what it was. Let's go. Come on. Say, man, we vest up, my nigga. Time to bring that heat and make these laws move around like they at a track meet. It ain't nothing to talk about, bitch. Fuck the discussion. Start click-clacking them laws. Show them hoes we love them. You killing us, my nigga, so we killing you back. And we taking out your family, that's a natural fact. You killed enough for us to quench your thirst. It's only right, my nigga, that we putting in work. Say if you catch a law slipping, we blessing his game. 6 slugs to his back and don't remember his name. You think of all talk, that's what I want you to think. I'm having homicidal tendencies and stay on the brink. I'm trying to get my stripes, nigga, that's all on the hood. Man down, blue suit, my nigga, it's all good. Call Acevedo on the real, tell him what we gon' do. Cause you the pussy ass law, and we bout to come through. Nigga, what you gon' do? Nigga, what you gon' do? What you gon' do with them boys in blue? Say what you gon' do, nigga, what you gon' do? You a pussy ass law, and we bout to come through. Say what you gon' do, nigga, what you gon' do? What you gon' do, nigga, what you gon' do? What you gon' do, nigga, what what you gonna do? You a pussy ass long, and we about to come through. Dallas, Texas, time for you to stand up. From Brooklyn to Carolina, my nigga, they just don't give a fuck. Minneapolis, it's time to get loose. Chi-town to the boogie down Bronx, all the way to the boot. H-town to L.A., Phoenix up to Seattle, Oklahoma, Baton Rouge, making them loud scatter. ATL, you real, put them choppers on deck and send a message to them bitches. We got them in check. Red dots to headshots, we changing it up. Kill another motherfucker and we bout to flame up. All you pussy ass laws, you better take notice. You know we run these fucking streets, case you bitches ain't noticed. If you wanna keep breathing, then start getting out. Stop playing with me, my nigga, about to run at your house. And put my knee up on your neck, issue a chokehold with a pistol in your mouth in case you bitches ain't know. What you gon' do, nigga? What you gon' do? What you gon' do with them boys in blue?
That's right.
Say what you gon' do, nigga? What you gon' do? You a pussy ass long, and we bout to come through. Say what you gon' do, nigga? What you gon' do? What you gon' do, nigga? What you gon' do? What you gon' do, nigga? What you gon' do? You a pussy ass long, and we bout to come through. This ain't no minor sign in town. It's all across the nation. They woke a nigga up, but they ain't know what they was facing. Gorillas on the block and killers in the trap. Excessive force, nigga, fuck it. We peeling your cap. Surround your substations, unloading the clips. Blue suits and black suits, boy, we letting them rip. And cut your ass, boy, from head to toe. We dumping 16 rounds, then we busting some more. I'm calling real niggas, these frontline soldiers. Respect the nigga mind, we ain't rolling over. So buckle up, nigga, we winning this fight. And we the monsters in the streets, we controlling at night. We creeping in them lacks and them cutlasses, dawg. We looking for pussy laws and we busting at y'all. Got your family and we killing them too. Cause you's a pussy ass law and we about to come through. What you gon' do, nigga? What you gon' do? What you gon' do with them boys in blue? Say what you gon' do, nigga? What you gon' do? My frustration was at an all-time high. It was at an all-time high when I wrote that song. But I'm going to end the show with the one that it was hard to write. Hold on a second. Hold on, I'm almost there. Hold on, I'm looking for it. Oh no. Oh man. It's just tough nowadays. It's just tough nowadays when you think about everything that's going on and the stuff that we got to deal with these laws. I mean, it's just too much some days. It's just too much. So I can't find Brianna. We'll end it with this. Let's make sure. We'll end it with this. And this is why I don't worry about the police or the things that they do, because I take my frustrations out on you in the lab. Until tomorrow night, I'll holler at you. Say his name, 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 say his name. Gianni is a fatherless daughter, George is a martyr, and Shaman took a lamb and led him to a slaughter. And they killed him on the block for the whole world to see, and put a knee to his neck on the side of the street. For 8 minutes 46, the world stood still. George never had a clue that he might get killed. Chauvin killed him anyway, with his hands in his pocket. Every nigga in every hood went off and they couldn't stop him. Fuck the National Guard and these crooked ass cops. Whether you black owned or not, we burn it down your shop. It's only right, a motherfucker, it's been far too long. A simple ride to the store, you might not get home. Say, man, these laws on some fuck shit. We bout to buck, bitch. We don't give a fuck, you getting stuck. And we gon' do it for the culture since you think it's a game. Third ward reppin' for George, so remember his name. Say his name, George. 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 Before George, it was Sandra. For Sandra, it was They killing niggas from Chicago all the way back to Texas. From Louisiana, baby, all the way back to Oakland. Chokeholds running the mook, semi-automatic smoking. See, Black Lives Matter even down in the pool. It don't matter to the cops, cause these bitches on some bullshit. It's time for us to bust back on these bitches. Issue out some ass whooping, leave these cops with some stitches. Fuck your feelings and your thoughts, it's an eye for an eye. They'll stop killing us, dog, when these cops start to die. Put your mama in a black dress, nigga, so fuck it. Take a headshot in case this crooked bitch start ducking. I want your people to hurt just like George is did. Maybe we should do the same and start killing your kids. Put your wife in a chokehold and kill the bitch, or make her funky ass suffer for 846. Say his name, George. 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 Say his name, George.